So, now we're clear on the process of RetroPGF. We understand how it works, who decides, and how they decide. But where is the money coming from? That's what we'll see in this video. There are two main sources of funding for the public goods and the retroactive funding of public goods. First of all, there is token allocation. So 20% of the total supply of the OP token is going to be used to retroactively fund public goods. That's like a lot of funding. Now second, and this is super interesting, this is where the virtuous cycle starts, we have the fees generated from the sequencer. We're going to go deeper into Optimisms technology in the next chapter, but you probably already know that Optimism is a layer 2. OP mainnet works thanks to a sequencer that generates revenue from all the transactions happening on the chain. So every time you buy an NFT, every time you use your favorite app or you send money to somebody across the world, you are generating fees. You are paying for the block space in the Optimism rollup. Remember that the blockchain is not a public good. And what you are paying is collected by the centralized sequencer that makes all the fees. Now, these fees are directly reinvested in the Optimism ecosystem through the form of public goods. What is the idea of this virtuous cycle? The idea is the following. You allocate money to fund public goods, but you fund them retroactively, so people will be eager to build cool things, to have a lot of impact so they could get rewarded. Now, these people building stuff, creating applications, creating courses, education, awareness, and super dApps will of course attract more builders and of course attract more users. The more users the chain has, the more fees the sequencer is going to create. Now, if the sequencer has more fees because there is more usage on the network, then the sequencer will have more funding to give to further public goods. So again, more public goods will create more users will create more fees will create more funding will create more public goods will create more users will create more fees will create more funding will create more users and builders and everything, and the cycle goes on and on and on. This is a very virtuous cycle. We're still in early stages. I'm really curious to see how this evolves and how this grows up. But now you got the idea. The money to retroactively fund public goods comes from the token allocation, 20% of the OP stack, and also from the revenues that the sequencer is generating. Now, this is a great experiment, but we already had 2 iterations from which we can learn. In the next video, we will see what happened in RetroPGF number 2 and the learnings that we can extract from it. And after that, we'll take a little look into the future and introduce RetroPGF number 3, which is happening in a few months from now. Stay optimistic. See you there.